Rumor has it Harley Davidson is about to release a new three-wheeled vehicle. In 2022, Harley Davidson offered two models of trikes. One is the Tri-Glide that was introduced in 2009, and it comes with a batwing fairing and a trunk, not to mention all the bells and whistles like a stereo and stuff like that that you can find on the other batwing touring motorcycles. The second model, introduced in 2015, is the Freewheeler, which is a more stripped down hot rod looking trike. Both are outfitted with a 114 engine and have the touring front end suspension. But the Freewheeler has no fairing, and the trunk is a top load rather than it being the same style trunk that's on the Tri-Glide, which also comes with a touring pack. Harley Davidson recently updated their website with the 2023 carryover models. When looking at the three-wheeled vehicles, we only find the Tri-Glide listed for 2023 currently. This implies either that the Freewheeler is canceled for 2023 or it's going to get a significant upgrade or modification. I can't disclose my source, and I can't tell you how reputable it is. All I can say is someone sent me this information and they believe it to be true, and I thought it was interesting enough to share it with you guys and see what you think. My source says Harley Davidson is definitely going to release a new three-wheeler or trike, whatever you prefer to call it, with a fixed frame fairing for 2023. Now, Harley Davidson is currently only running two styles of fixed frame fairings that I know of. One is the Road Glide fairing and the other is the new Lowrider ST fairing. Now, from what I understand, the Tri-Glide sells a lot better than the Freewheeler, so it makes sense for Harley Davidson to shake things up with the Freewheeler and see if they can draw some more interest in a $30,000 product. The question is, will they try and make it more of a touring three-wheel vehicle by outfitting a Road Glide fairing and giving it audio and GPS capabilities like the Road Glide has? Or will they keep it more of a hot rod three-wheeler by just putting something on it like the Lowrider ST fairing? My source believes that they are modifying the Freewheeler platform and not just adding a Road Glide fairing to a Tri-Glide. But he's not 100% sure of that. If he is right, this means they will be keeping the air-cooled 114 engine and not having lowers on it, and that they're keeping the base Freewheeler body and chassis. The Freewheeler is a couple inches shorter overall and lighter than the existing Tri-Glide by about 125 pounds. Adding a fairing is going to close the gap in weight some, but if they stay with the Freewheeler body styling and leave out the touring pack and stay with the air-cooled motor without the radiator-equipped lowers, that will help keep it lighter. I think there are three probable designs if Harley Davidson is going to introduce a fixed fairing model. Let's run through them and you tell me which option you think would be best for Harley Davidson. Option 1 would be to just slap a Road Glide fixed fairing on an existing Tri-Glide, and I think that's the least effort, but the rake and the fork angles might make this a more difficult task than I think. With the batwing fairing, you're attaching it to the front end, not to the frame. If any of you guys do fab work out there, let me know if this is really more work than I think for a frame-mounted fairing. Option 2 is to mount the Road Glide fairing to the Freewheeler. Now, if you didn't know, I'm not a shark nose fan at all. I love the batwing, but I have to admit, I think the render I created in Photoshop does not look too bad at all on the Freewheeler. Now you have a place for a touchscreen display for infotainment and navigation, as well as a place to put speakers. Option 3 would be to mount a Lowrider ST fairing on a Freewheeler, and to me this seems pretty doable also. You would benefit from a fairing and could add the Rockford Fosgate audio setup that they offer for the Lowrider ST, but you won't have as much weight and electronics as a batwing or a shark nose fairing either. As I made these images and I thought about it, a Tri-Glide with a Road Glide makes a lot of sense. They offer both options in the touring lineup. It's not hard to imagine that Harley Davidson would just do this and just kill the Freewheeler off completely. But I really do think the Freewheeler with the Road Glide front end looks really good. Probably my least favorite of the three options is the Lowrider ST fairing. Now, I'm not into trikes personally, but they have a place. As riders get older, sometimes physical issues limit them from riding on two wheels, and that forces them to consider riding a trike. My dad is a prime example. He recently bought a V-Rod trike as his knees are so wore out that on some days he doesn't feel like he could hold up a heavy two-wheeler. Some guys, as they get older, go down from a touring model to a Softail that is a more touring capable model like the Sport Glide or the Lowrider ST. I want you all to remember something. I'm sure none of us asked to get too old to ride two wheels. So when you see someone riding a trike, it may not be their first choice, but it is a way to keep their knees in the breeze. And I know personally, I would rather go for a ride with my pops and he'd be on a three-wheeler than not have the opportunity to ride with him at all. Speaking of V-Rod trikes, what if Harley Davidson dropped a trike powered by a Revolution Max engine? Now that would stir the shit pot. Don't tell me you wouldn't be surprised. So guys, leave me a comment and let me know which options you thought looked the coolest. Which do you think Harley Davidson is most likely to release if the rumor about a fixed frame fairing trike comes true at the launch? Did you see my other video on the 2023 carryover models with prices and colors? If not, you can catch it here. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and keep on riding.